Signal Mountain, Tennessee. In today's video, we're going to discuss Signal Mountain. We're going to do a map tour. We're going to drive some roads. We're going to explain how you can get up the mountain, how you can get down, how far things are, and everything that has to do with living in Signal Mountain, Tennessee. Hey guys, my name is Junior Francica, and I'm a real estate agent here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you guys are looking for more information on Signal Mountain or any other locations within the greater Chattanooga area, I would love to get a chance to speak to you, answer your questions. Shoot me a call or a text message. Let's get on a Zoom. Or if you're visiting like many of you do, that reach out, let's grab some coffee. Let me help you explore the area and see if Chattanooga is a place for you. So that being said, let's get into today's video. Signal Mountain, let's go ahead and do the map tour. All right guys, so we are here on the map, and as you can see, this is a map of greater Chattanooga area. You have Chattanooga right here downtown, and if you're not aware, we're right on the Tennessee and Georgia border. So as you can see, the Tennessee-Georgia border is right here. So probably from downtown, you're like 15-20 minutes from the Georgia border. You actually have Alabama all the way over here. But anyways, here's Chattanooga, and just to give you kind of acquainted with the area, this is what Hamilton County, where Chattanooga is located, looks like. It's around the red line. Something to note is that we're on the very western part of the Eastern time zone. And what that means is right here in this area is Lookout Valley. Once you pass Lookout Valley and you get into Jasper and this area over here, you're actually in Central time zone. So if you're actually coming in from Nashville, just know that Nashville is an hour behind us. Just FYI, sometimes that gets people mixed up. If they're trying to meet friends or whatnot, they say 1 p.m., they get to Nashville at 12 and they think, or they get to Nashville at 11, they're like, oh, 2 hours will be there, but you're actually gonna get here an hour later, just FYI. So let's get to Signal Mountain. So if we look at Signal Mountain, it's kind of like north-ish of downtown. So if we click on Signal Mountain, this is what, I don't know if the original Signal Mountain is a good way to put it, but this is Signal Mountain city limits. What has happened is that this is the zip code for Signal Mountain. So Walden and Fairmount and other places have been incorporated to Signal Mountain. So what that means for you is that if you're looking to live in Signal Mountain, yes, obviously you have Signal Mountain proper, but now Walden and Fairmount has been added to Signal Mountain. So it's a little bit further out, a little bit towards the back of Signal Mountain, but it still has the same school zones. And that's something that's very appealing to people, because as you get closer to Signal Mountain, maybe you have houses with nice views. It's a little bit more expensive, but as you get to the back of Signal Mountain, or even going a little bit past Walden, it gets a little bit cheaper. So if school zones are very important to you, you can still live in Signal Mountain on the backside of it. It's a little bit cheaper, not so much, but that's just something to note, that maybe sometimes people are like, oh, you live in Signal Mountain, what part? They'll say Walden or this or that. So just FYI about Signal Mountain. So now I want to discuss how far Signal Mountain is to many things in Chattanooga. And something that I always like to do is that no matter where I am in Chattanooga, when people are like, hey, how far is this to Chattanooga, and typically they mean downtown, is I always use the Tennessee Aquarium as the gauge of downtown. And that's just because it's right on the water, it's right in downtown district, and that's just what I use. I have kids, we go there all the time, so it's very easy for me to just search that up on Google. So if you are looking for houses in Signal Mountain, or you just want to see how far it is from downtown, what I would go is just go on Google Maps. Right here I'm just typing in Signal Mountain, but you can just do Tennessee Aquarium, and that'll give you a good gauge of how far it is. So as of right now, it's 9 a.m. in the morning, so not that much traffic. You're about 16 minutes to downtown Chattanooga. Super close, super proximal. Another thing that people ask about is hospitals, right? So let's just look up one of the hospitals. We have Memorial Hospital, we have Erlanger Hospital, and we have Park Ridge. So those three are the main hospital systems that we have here in Chattanooga. So let's just look up Erlanger, which is on 3rd Street. That's the main hospital system. And you're about 21 minutes from the main hospital in downtown. Now, what we do have in the area, we have a bunch of hubs all over the place. Mainly Erlanger has more hubs, but also Memorial and Park Ridge have their own hospital hubs all over the place. So the one that's closest to Signal Mountain, I believe, is Erlanger North. So from Signal Mountain to Erlanger North, you're about 12 minutes. So that's even closer than downtown. And these hospital hubs, they aren't like the huge one downtown, but they do have an ER. They do have typically a couple hundred beds, either an ICU, some places that you just need to go in and get checked out. There's a bunch of doctor's offices all around it. So if you live in Signal Mountain and hospitals are very important to you, either you're elderly in age or you have parents or kids that need to be close to hospitals, you do have one which is about 12 minutes from Signal Mountain. The next thing I want to discuss is getting up and down the mountain. It's called Signal Mountain because it is a mountain, right? So you're gonna live on top of the mountain, and something that gets to people a lot, and it's typically people that come from areas that are very flat, like mainly Florida. They love the thought of Signal Mountain. They love the drone shots and the drive-bys that I do. And I'll actually put some on the screen so you can see all the different types of drones, or at least some of the drones, as I'm just speaking so you can see it. But something that freaks them out is the mountain, right? Driving up and down the mountain. And if we come back over here to the map, we have two main ways to get up and down the mountains. We really have a third way, which is on the backside of Signal, but we're not going to get to that today. But the main way is taking Signal Mountain Road all the way up, okay? This road is very wide. It's 3 lanes. There's 2 lanes up and 1 lane down. Typically, nobody has any issues driving up and down, even those Floridians that just love flat and are scared of driving the hills. I'm just saying that because I used to be a Floridian, right? And I had to get used to the winding roads and in Florida or flat places, you're driving and you can see for miles where you're headed. The difference between that and driving somewhere that has hills and mountains is that you're going up a mountain and maybe going over a curve and you can't see where you're going. And you just have to have faith that that road isn't just going to end and you're going to fall down the mountain, right? That's typically what I hear from a lot of people from Florida driving in the area. But anyways, sometimes what happens is they go this very narrow and windy road on the side of Signal and it freaks them out. And that road is called West Road, okay? So you have Signal Mountain Road, which is here. I'll actually draw on there. You have Signal Mountain Road, which is right here. Yes, it's a little bit windy, but again, very wide and not bad at all. And then you have West Road, which is right here, and it goes all the way up this way. If you're going up West Road, you're going to get to a place that will freak a lot of people out. Even if you're used to driving up hills and mountains, it might be a little bit like, oh, a little bit shaky. And that is when you get to West Road and you get to this little area right here, you have these very tight, windy roads, okay? That part right there freaks everybody out. So let's go ahead and dive into the map and see what's going on in that road and why does it freak people out. So I guess this was recorded when there was some snow on the mountain. We don't get that much snow all the time. We're lucky if we get a couple, 1 to 2 inches a year. Some years it doesn't snow at all. But anyways, I digress. This is West Road. And as you can see, it is pretty windy, right? It is so windy that right here you have people coming up and you have people coming down. Only one car can pass at a time. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can go up and see people actually coming down. I believe this one. Okay, like right there. As you can see, there's cars coming up on the left side and there's cars going down. This car has to wait for that car to go all the way around and then it'll be his turn. And then he has to take a wide turn to be able to come here. And that's what freaks people out because one, they're already kind of nervous, right? Florida's flat, so they're nervous driving on the edge of the mountain. And then two, they're not really sure if they're right away or if not. So this kind of just freaks people out. So just know that you come up this road, it's going to be okay. Take your time. Nobody's going to rush you. And that's another thing about Chattanooga and the area. Nobody's going to be like honking the horn and yelling at you and pressuring you to go. People here typically have a lot more courteousness. Is that a word? Or they are a lot nicer and allow you more time and breathing room to go up these roads and take your time. So again, if you come up here, you come this way and there's a car here, they're going to have to wait for you to take a big winding road to get to here. And the same, if you're coming up here, you're going to have to wait for them to go all the way around. And that's really what freaks people out, this little part right here. But once you get up that road, either the main entrance or that side West Road entrance, once you get up there, it's essentially flat. There are like tiny little rolling hills, but you're already on top of the mountain. There's really no issues. There are some beautiful scenic roads. I believe it's East Brown Road. Let's see over there. Yeah, so there's this beautiful scenic road up here. As you can see, you have houses right on the road, and on the right side of the road, you just have the valley, which is absolutely beautiful. So if you're visiting the area and you're going to Signal Mountain, just type in East Brown Road and just drive this road. And you'll actually get to some places and some spots where there's like, you probably can't park your car there, but there's areas that you can sit down. A lot of these houses will have chairs and stuff that they can just go out and see the sunset. It's absolutely beautiful. And just wanting to show you, so you see right there, you have a lot more space. So you have these beautiful houses. And if you're looking to live in one of these houses, they go fast every single time they're listed, whether they're brand new and super beautiful or they're super old, outdated, and ugly. It doesn't matter. These houses go fast because of the views that you get across the street. And it's absolutely beautiful. So if you're visiting the area, and you just want a nice scenic road that you want to drive on, East Brown Road is definitely one to check out. And that's right over here, kind of on the backside of Signal Mountain. You can either go up, West Road if you want to brave that, or you just go up the main way, and then you can get to East Brow Road towards the backside. So getting back to Signal Mountain, once you get up there, it's relatively flat. There's really no issues. You're not driving on the side of the mountain, maybe that one road, but for the most part, once you get up there, it's totally fine and not a problem. All right, so next thing I want to do is I want to go back to Signal Mountain Road, and kind of when we get towards the top, I just want to drive up the main road and show you what Signal Mountain looks like. But before I do that real quick, let's go over here to this little windy part on the main road just to show you the difference between that one and West Road. So as you can see, if we go up this road, you have 2 lanes going up, and then you have 1 lane going down. As you can see, nobody has to wait for anybody to do that turn, right? There's a lot more space. It's a lot more chill. And also, just for you guys to be aware, this is one of, I wouldn't say scenic things, but one of the cool things about the Chattanooga area. Everybody knows the Spaceship House. This is a house. I believe it's an Airbnb now. It keeps becoming an Airbnb, and then somebody buys it and becomes an Airbnb again that you can actually stay at. As the recording of this video, it literally looks like a saucer spaceship. So it's a really cool little place that people can stay at, and everybody sees it going up and down Signal Mountain, something for you to check out. But as you can see, the road going up the main way, it's not bad at all. All right, so as we get closer to the top of Signal Mountain, this is where you start to get into the area where it's a little bit less mountainous, right? One of the cool things about living in Signal Mountain is typically everything you need is on top of the mountain. So for example, I have 4 kids. So if one of our kids, when they were babies, we need diapers or we need baby wipes, whatever the case may be, I don't have to drive up and down the mountain. I can just go to CVS and get something real quick. If you need Tylenol or Advil or medications or anything like that, you have CVS. There's also other pharmacies. I believe going right here, you have Signal Mountain Pharmacy, you have a gas station. I mean, you have doctor's offices, you have a bunch of things on top of Signal Mountain, which is really nice because a lot of times people believe that you're living on top of the mountain, there's absolutely nothing up there, which would actually kind of suck because you got to go up and down for anything you need. But typically anything you need is on top of the mountain. So if we're just driving down this main road going up and down Signal Mountain, you can see a lot of the type of homes that they have here. Usually they are on the lots that's a little bit bigger. And Signal Mountain itself, and let me just show you on the map, it's kind of been growing over the years. Obviously the front end, like I mentioned earlier, the city limits is a lot more of, I don't want to say older style homes, but more mid-century modern type homes, more homes that have been established and built. A lot of them have been updated and upgraded, but a lot of them are still very much old school. I will show houses there all the time, and there's still carpet there from the 60s and 70s, and that's what you're going to find typically within this bubble. Is a little bit more of the older style homes, maybe on a little bit bigger lots, not always, but that's what you'll find here. And on the back side, as you start going towards the back, this is where more and more of the builders are starting to build. So if you want more of a new construction, yes, you can still find it over here on the front end, but more than likely it's going to be on the back end. So a lot of the new construction is on the back end. A lot of them are on half an acre or an acre or 2 acres. So if you want new construction, you want a little bit more land, and you want a little bit more country feel, definitely check out the back end of Signal Mountain. Just wanted to point that out real quick. All right, so just coming back over here, I just wanted to keep going down the main road just to show you a little bit, kind of more shops. You have another gas station right there. I believe Domino's is right here that we get pizza all the time. Domino's. You have a bunch of little stores, little local shops. And then you also have Pruitt's Market, which is the supermarket on top of the mountain. Again, really nice to have a supermarket on top of the mountain, something that you can't get on CVS. You will definitely get it right there. So that's super cool to have. And again, a ton of shops. You have a ton of doctor's offices and things that you would need. So I just wanted to show you the main road and kind of what's all up. You have a bank, Regions Bank. You have a bunch of places that you can find up here, and it's super nice to have on top of the mountain. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick, and I'm on niche.com. So if you want to look up the school systems and the school grades according to them, this is what they're giving. So you have Thrasher Elementary School, which gets an A-. You have Nolan Elementary School, which gets an A-. And then you have Signal Mountain Middle and High School, which gets a B+. So school is really important to you. Here is kind of the location in comparison to downtown Signal Mountain where they are located. Just wanted to point that out for you. School's important. Definitely check out niche.com and why they give these grades and where everything is located. Now, a couple things I just want to touch on is that Signal Mountain is absolutely beautiful. If you love nature, you love hiking, you love overlooks, Signal Mountain is definitely the place for you. Even if you don't end up living there, we visit there all the time. And one of the main places that you can start out at is Signal Point. Signal Point kind of follows along the ridge of the Tennessee River, and that's the main park where you can park at and kind of walk down towards. And as you can see here, it's basically the start to the Cumberland Trail system, which you can go for hundreds of miles and connect to many different trail systems back there. But you have Signal Point, and then you can walk to Julia Falls. You can walk to Edwards Point. I absolutely love this little ridge right here. You get awesome, beautiful pictures. I actually did a ultra marathon a couple years ago, and I'll put up the picture here on the screen so that you can see my photo on Edwards Point. Absolutely beautiful. Another place I want to talk about is Rainbow Falls. So Rainbow Falls is a beautiful little waterfall, and I believe it's man-made because it controls the water coming in and out, but it's still absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice, simple hike. I believe it's only like a mile and a half. It has public parking up at the top. Park your car and just go down with the family. We go down all the time with our kids. So if you're just looking to do something outdoorsy when you visit the area, definitely check out Rainbow Falls. And then the next thing I want to discuss, because I have kids, and if you do have kids too, is the Pumpkin Patch Playground. I absolutely love this playground. It is huge. The slides are long. I go down the slides with my kids. You get up pretty fast in speed, and it's towards the back end of Signal Mountain. And I'll just show a couple pictures that are over here. I'll put a video on the screen of when we were there, and maybe I'll put a picture or two of me and the kids at Pumpkin Patch Playground. Absolutely beautiful. We typically like to go there. We'll go in the summer and the spring, but in the fall, it has pumpkins everywhere, and it kind of gives you into the fall vibe. It's definitely some more to check out if you're visiting the area. So again, you have places with a little bit more land. As you can see right there, a little bit older, almost craftsman style home. You have some brick houses. Just driving down the road and kind of wanted to show you what you can find there. And I'm more towards the front of Signal Mountain. And as you can see, obviously it's winter time, so you can't really see the lush greenness of everything, which kind of works out for these type of videos because you can actually see through the trees and see the types of homes. Because it feels summertime, you will not be able to see through the trees, and it gives you a lot more nature-esque type of feel. Anyways, that's just a couple of homes. You can easily come here on Google Drive, just click somewhere and go to the map view, and you can kind of just start walking through the area just to get a little bit better feel of what Signal Mountain is like to live in. So that's today's video, guys. I hope I was able to answer your questions, give you a little better idea of what it's like to live in Signal Mountain, where everything is located, how to get up and down, how far away things are. And if you love what this video had to say about Signal Mountain, check the other video out that I go ahead and do way more in depth about Signal Mountain, and we talk further, and I show you more drone shots and things like that. But if you're looking to move to Signal Mountain or Chattanooga or anywhere in the area, feel free to shoot a message to me, give me a call, and again, let's meet up for coffee if you're coming into town. I love to get to know you guys, answer some questions, and give you better feedback on what it is you want and where you could find that. So that being said, until next time, take care and God bless.